Good evening, everyone. So today I'm back again with another problem on Leetcode. So this problem is an easy level problem on Leetcode, and it goes by the name mean of the array after removing some elements. So the explanation of the problem is that given an integer array ARR, return the mean of the remaining integers after removing the smallest 5% and the largest 5% of the elements. Answers within 10 to the power minus 5 of the actual answer will be considered accepted. Now an input array is given to you, 1, and then there are I guess uh, I don't know, I haven't counted yet. Okay, 1, so let's count 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20. There are 20 elements, so we have to remove the top 5% and the bottom 5%, I mean the largest and the smallest 5% elements, and then we have to find the mean of the array. So in this case, I guess the 5% will be the first element and the last element only. So 1 will be the 5% of this array, the size of this array. Okay, so 1 will be removed, 3 will be removed. We are only remaining with 2, and the mean of all 2's divided by the size of array is going to be 2. Okay, so now another example. We are getting the mean of this array as 4, and in the third input, we are getting the mean of the array as 4.77778. Now, how do we find the solution of this problem? Let's open the Google Docs and I'll explain the logic behind it. Okay, so we have to find the top 5% elements and the bottom 5% elements. Now, how do we get to know that these many elements are the top 5% elements and the bottom 5% elements, or the smallest and the largest 5% elements? Okay, so we are concerned. Okay, we are concerned with the smallest and the largest. Okay, 5% of the uh, total total okay size of the array. Okay, now if we are concerned with the top 5%, or if we are concerned with only the 5% of the total size of the array, then we have to find this value in the form of an integer. Okay, if we find the value of this thing in the form of an integer, then we might uh, we might remove them from the array. Either we remove them, or we find a way to handle them efficiently. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll find the top 5% as the integer. Okay, and if you find the top 5% as an integer, let's say int size, int n is equals to arr dot size. Okay, this is the size of the array. What will be the 5% of the size of the array? It will be something like this. Okay, n into 5. Okay, and then divided by 100. This is going to be the 5% of the array size. Okay, now we will store this thing in a integer. Okay, int n is equals to, let's say, not n, and to remove, okay, to delete. Okay, then we will store this value in this one. Okay, in this variable. And now what we'll do, we have to skip the smallest 5%, right? So firstly we will sort the array. Okay, sort arr dot begin comma arr dot end. Okay, this way we have sorted the array, so we will get the sorted array. Okay, and now how do we remove the smallest 5%? We can remove the smallest 5% by starting the loop from the variable to del, because this much element we have to delete, right? So if you have to delete one element, we will start from indices 1 only, because 0 will be deleted in that case. Okay, so from integer I equals to 2 underscore del. Okay, I is less than. Now in the case of removing largest 5% elements, what we will do, we will reduce it from the size. That's it. That's the only thing that we have to keep in mind, and rest of everything is perfectly fine. Okay, now what we'll do, we will create a variable which will store the sum. Okay, sum plus equals to arr of I. Okay, this is going to store the sum, and let's say we create a variable double mean. Okay, double mean. uh, which will be storing the mean. Okay, now we have created the sum variable which will be storing the sum. Okay, double sum equals to 0. It will be storing the sum. Now as the sum is stored in this variable, okay, sum variable, now what we can do is mean becomes equals to sum. What we'll do, we'll create another variable int cnt which will be 0 initially, and as we loop in the array, we'll increment cnt each time so that we can count how much elements we are taking the mean. Okay, we will divide the sum by this cnt variable, and hence we'll get the mean, and lastly we will return mean. Okay, this is the beautiful solution that we can come up for this problem. So let's try to solve this problem using this approach only. So let me explain it once again. So we are concerned with the smallest and the largest 5% of the total size of the array. So we will create an integer variable n which is going to store the size of the array. Then we will create another integer variable int toDelete. ToDelete represents how much elements we do not need to consider because they are removed. They are considered as the smallest 5% and the largest 5%. Okay, so we will sort the array thereafter. Then we will create a variable mean which is having data type as double. Then we'll create another variable called sum, okay, which will be storing the sum of the all the elements after removing the smallest 5% and the largest 5% of the elements from the array. Then we will create another variable int cnt. Cnt will be storing the elements that are considered, okay, considered for the mean value after the removal, okay, removal of smallest and okay, smallest and largest, okay, largest 5% of the elements. Okay, uh, now we will iterate from for I equals to 0, I equals to delete, because we have to ignore these many elements. So if we need to remove the smallest 5% and 5% is 1, so we'll start from I equals to 1. Okay, and we will end till n minus 2 delete. Okay, so suppose we want to delete one of the largest element from the array, so n minus 1 would be the last index that we need to iterate till which we need to iterate. Okay, and each time we will increment I by 1. We will increment the count by 1 cnt. Okay, and we will add the array elements to the sum, and lastly we will calculate the mean and we'll return the mean. Okay, let's code it up and let's see if it works. Okay, so we are here in the problem, and let's code it down. Okay, so what we have said earlier, we will start with this. We'll create a variable, store the array size. We will create another variable, we'll be storing 5% of the array size into it. Then we'll be sorting the array. Then we'll be creating two other variables which are double variables, okay, having data type double, and they'll be storing mean and sum. Okay, then we'll do further on. Okay, so let's start with this thing. Okay, int n is equals to, it will be storing the size of the array. Int n is equal to arr dot size. Now what we'll do, int to delete, okay, how much elements we need to delete is equals to n n into 5, because 5% of the elements we have to remove from the smallest and from the largest. Okay, we'll divide it by 100. Okay, now what we'll do, we'll create two other variables, double sum equals to 0, okay, double uh, mean equals to 0, and then one more variable we need to consider, which is int cnt equals to 0. Okay, this will be storing the elements of which we need to consider the mean. Okay, okay, so you got my point, right? So from here we will start from int I equals to 2 underscore delete. I is less than n minus 2 underscore delete. Okay, I plus plus, and then we will add up all these things into some variable. Okay, and each time we add up, we will increment the count by 1 also, and then mean becomes equals to sum divided by cnt, and then return mean. Okay, return mean. So this is going to solve the problem. Let's see if it works. uh, okay, so there is a problem in this solution. Okay, we forgot to sort it. Okay, we forgot to sort it, so we will sort it before. Okay, sort arr.begin. Okay, I was forgetting this thing only. So now it should work, I guess. Let's see if it works. So it is working perfectly fine. I've got accepted. My solution got accepted for all the test cases. Let's submit it and let's see if it works for all the test cases other than these three. Yeah, so it got accepted. This is how you are going to solve this problem. That's it for this video. Thank you.